What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sure by now you guys have all heard the news surrounding Activision and Microsoft. But for those of you that might not know, Activision was acquired by Microsoft and the deal was finalized about a week ago. And what this means is that Microsoft is now the controlling entity behind Activision, which could be looked at as a good thing or a bad thing. But what I hope is that it turns out to be a good thing and that we see some real progress being made with Activision titles. Because Activision is one of those companies, like EA, that loves to just churn out yearly titles of the same franchise until they kill it. Look at what they did with Guitar Hero. Look what they did with the Tony Hawk franchise. All of these were once amazing franchises, and because of mass production, they slowly started to deteriorate in quality and in turn just became avenues to make a little bit of money off of name recognition. And I fear as if the same might happen to Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty is a little bit different, but at the same time, it's still suffering from the same quantity over quality situation, and it's caused a lot of people to move away from the franchise. The amount of people that have kind of snuck their heads back into the Call of Duty franchise with the announcement of Modern Warfare 3 and the announcements of the classic Modern Warfare 2 maps returning, they've been welcomed with the shock and surprise of what Call of Duty has become. Many people are shocked to see superheroes, supervillains, animals parading around the streets of some of their favorite Modern Warfare 2 maps. And I ask you, is this truly what Call of Duty has to offer? Is this the best that they have to offer? Or could they be doing better? And I think the answer is very simple. They should be doing better. The gameplay hasn't been good enough for far too long, and the over-monetization of everything without giving the player base proper incentive is absolutely disgusting. And this is the main thing that needs to change under Microsoft's control. Is I'm fine with the monetization as it stands right now in Call of Duty. I'd love it to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to the Call of Duty brand, but we can talk about that further in another commentary. What I'd like to change, though, is the lack of incentive and reward for the player base as it stands right now. If you complete all of the challenges in Modern Warfare 2, if you got max prestige, you got some boring ass cosmetic. Here's your reward: a boring ass skin. You didn't get COD points, you didn't get any type of recognition, you just got a big F you. That's what it was. It was, why didn't you spend money on our game? Instead of, hey, congratulations, you grinded hard all year, you played our game, you enjoyed what we put out even though it was garbage, and you got to the max prestige. Because it's not like old Call of Duty where it had classical prestige, where you could prestige at your own will. No, you have to wait for each season and then prestige through each season to get to the max prestige. So you had to wait until the end of the year. So you had to play the game for the whole year. You had to endure all the nonsense of Modern Warfare 2 just to get this lousy reward. So I would love to see Call of Duty change in that respect. I'd love to see Microsoft try to incentivize the community to reach max prestige. Incentivize the community a little bit more to complete challenges, to play the game by giving them unique and cool rewards. I'm big on the rewards thing because I believe that it actually makes the player base want to play. And surprise, surprise, if you have a player base that wants to play the game, that is actively engaging in your game week in and week out, you'll make more money, you'll make more revenue. I think that's the course forward. That's the path to the most success for Activision. And I'd love for them to realize it. I'd love for them to actually notice this opportunity for growth. Give players an incentive, a reason to play. I know that most of you won't like this comparison, but when I first started playing Ultimate Team, it was on NHL 11 and 12. And what I found was that I gained a lot of incentive to play the game because the rewards matched the amount of time that I put into the game. But as Hockey Ultimate Team evolved over time, I found that incentive less and less and less to the point where I didn't play the mode anymore because there was no incentive. There's videos on this channel showcasing that I used to play this game mode. But as time's gone on, I've been less incentivized to play the game mode, which means I'm less incentivized to purchase anything out of that game mode, which means instead of the game mode making money off of me, they just don't get my money whatsoever, all the way to this year where I just flat out didn't buy the game. And that's the first time I haven't bought an NHL game since NHL 2002. That's 22 straight years of me buying an NHL game, and I haven't this year. Strictly because there's no incentive for me to play. The gameplay changes are so beyond minimal that it's not worth my money to even try to invest in this franchise anymore. And I say that and I equate these two together because when there was incentive, and if Call of Duty was to create an incentive for me to play, I would in turn probably spend a little bit more money. Heck, I did it with Black Ops Cold War because I found that that game was worth my money, that I bought a couple skins that I felt were kind of cool. I spent money in that game. I'll be honest about it. They made it worth my while. But Call of Duty did not do that with Modern Warfare 2, and they need to find a way to do that with Modern Warfare 3. You need to get more money out of this player base, but the only way you can do it is if you actually make it worth their while. And Modern Warfare 2 at no point in time made it worth this community's while to spend money, even though they made record revenues. I don't know who was buying it. I'm assuming there was just a bunch of casuals, a bunch of COD fanboys that were fine pouring thousands of dollars into this nonsense of a game. But you shouldn't be just trying to milk your cash cows. You should be looking at other avenues to increase revenue, and making an incentive package for your player base is like the first step. And they've been taking incentives away from video games for the last several years. Like, look at pre-order bonuses now. Look what they used to be back in like 2007, 2008, and look what they're at now. Like, you get a couple skins in the game. You might get a little bit of in-game currency, but outside of that, you get like nothing. There's no point to pre-order a video game anymore. And that's why I get so frustrated with the whole situation, because pre-orders used to be somewhat worth it. You got something cool, you got something unique, but now it's just, oh, an extra skin, or oh, it's an extra couple days on a beta. Like, that's it. It's not worth the money anymore. It's not worth the time. So I'd like to see Microsoft change it up a little bit. Find new ways to grow this community, find new ways to connect this community together, and find new ways to create more passion within this community. And I think an incentivization of playing this game is like the first step. So I want to put some faith into Microsoft. I want to give them some time to get their bearings right and make sure they steer this in the right direction. Because I want to think that Microsoft can help right the ship, make Call of Duty great again. But it's going to take some time. And I think that we need to be a little bit patient here. But I'd love to see what type of intervention they put into Activision Blizzard over the next few months here and moving into the next year or two. Like, how does Call of Duty look for 2024 now? What does Call of Duty look into 2025? Like, these are things that I think we can get excited about, because maybe Microsoft's going to steer it into a new direction. We know Game Pass is going to be a huge part of the Call of Duty franchise now, but what are they going to do to make that core experience better for everybody that plays Call of Duty? Like, this is the big cash cow that Microsoft paid billions of dollars for. How do you make more money off of Call of Duty? How do you make more money off of some of the other Blizzard titles? And it comes from the community. It comes from creating a strong community, and I'm very curious to see what they do here and how they're able to fix this very shattered community at the point in time. Very polarized, very divisive community. So I'm curious. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping for the best. Because that's all we can do sometimes, is we've got to be a little optimistic, and we got to hope that we're in the right hands. So, Microsoft, please make the Call of Duty franchise better. Please incentivize players to play the game. And that's really all I've got for today's video. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section regarding this whole acquisition. Do you think it's going to be for the betterment of Call of Duty, or do you think it's actually going to be to the detriment of this franchise? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.